What's up, guys? I'm Red,
I'm STUNNA Steve.
and this is another exclusive John Wrestling review. The date today is Monday, June 2nd, 2025.
We're in June, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, summer's going quick, you know? The year's going quick. But we just watched a Monday Night Raw, technically the call it Go Home show, the last episode of Raw before Money in the Bank, coming out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And we're going to do, as we always do, screw or poo, good or bad, pretty much, and how we like the segments, the matches, and stuff like that.
And the whole card.
As you can probably tell by the tone of my voice, I'm not too happy with the show. So
strap in, folks.
Yeah,
this will be an interesting review.
We're gonna
ready.
We're gonna try to keep it short and sweet, but at the same time, we're gonna have to voice our opinions about some things here. So I should say, this is the first episode of Raw without Carlito. R-Truth was released. So before the show even happened, we had "We Want Truth" chants. There was signs for truth, things like that.
I'll even count Valhalla. I mean, Valhalla hasn't been on TV in a while, but
she got released today.
So definitely sucks.
Yeah, that sucked. So we'll start. With the first segment. We had Michael Cole supposed to wear a tank top. He's in a Pacers jersey.
Close enough, I guess.
Close enough, I guess. I'll give this a screw. It was funny.
Yeah. Good way to start off the show. A little lighthearted.
It was funny. After that, CM Punk's music hits. He's coming out, right? So he comes out, essentially says, "Hey, this is the summer of Punk. It's time that I win Money in the Bank. It's time that I become world champion. I've done a lot here. I'm ready to level up again. One more time. He's not young man. He's an older wrestler. So he's probably got one more world title run. Hopefully could be two. You never know. But I think one more really. And he said, Summer of Punk. Sami Zayn comes out, right? Essentially says, look, I want you to win. You have to win that briefcase,
You have to win the qualifying match.
You have to win the qualifying match tonight, the main event. If you don't, Seth is going to come in. He's going to win. And
he is now the betting favorite.
It's going to ruin wrestling, essentially, right? So that was the pitch. And then after that, they talk about, how they'll see each other down the road if one becomes champions.
Now that didn't happen, I'm giving this segment a poo.
Yeah, I'm giving this a poo, not only because we'll get to that, later, but, CM Punk did not win the match.
Yeah.
It didn't happen, and I really don't see too much point for this.
Yeah.
Having Sammy come out, do this whole thing if he wasn't even going to win. Y'all could have had a match here in this place, or anything, And I get what they're doing with this new faction, with Seth and everything, and I'm sure, an alliance between Punk and Sammy has to be made, but they're already friends for real. So I just don't see the value in this segment very much. I'm sorry, I don't.
Yeah, it doesn't really make much sense.
Let's see. After that, we did upload some things out of order. Instagram has been giving us some issues. We did have a little backstage segment between Liv and Raquel and Roxanne Perez. This was Sklew.
Yeah, it was quick. This was also like Liv and Io Sky kind of had a little thing. Because Liv assumed she was going to qualify for the match because she was about to walk out for her triple threat match between her. Who else was in the match? I'm blanking right now.
Stephanie and
Ivy, yep. And Stephanie obviously picked up the win. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Well, that's next, actually.
Yeah,
so.
But I just kind of this was another situation where we're building something that's not really there.
Yeah, it's kind of not necessary because...
She didn't qualify.
You could obviously have her be her next challenger. You could do a feud.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Just could have saved that for,
a couple of weeks down the line. Yeah. A lot of stuff happened tonight where I'm like, if this were to be turned into something in a couple of weeks or at Money in the Bank, that makes sense. But it's not. Like, we're not going to get Liv and Io anytime soon. Like, maybe 3 weeks down the line, but we're not going to get it this week. We're not going to get it next week. Right. Same thing with Sammy and Punk. Like, until Sammy turns heel, we're not going to see that at all, and especially if there's not a title on the line. So what are we building to right now?
Yeah, and if you're like the alliance has already been there. Yeah, so we don't. They
just had a tag match together.
Yeah. So honestly, we'll give that segment a poo.
Yeah.
Honestly, the match itself,
lots of poos. But the match,
Stephanie Vatcourt
that's a screw.
debuts. This was a big screw. She won. She's working double duty at Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank.
And it was a good match.
Yeah, it was a good match. She's going to be a clear favorite to go in here and possibly even win the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give this a screw. Great debut.
And they started her entrance like there was a whole video package hyping her up.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
We saw this whole thing. Her entrance is a little updated, and we're just sitting here like, how can she lose after this?
Yeah. So after this, we had a Rusev promo about him and Sheamus. They're he stabbed him in the back. He says. And then we had Sheamus come on and talk. I'll give this big screw. I'm super down for this feud.
This feud makes sense.
So it's perfect. Honestly, two guys. One returning, both of them returning really.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be good. Big screw from us on this one.
Yeah.
Let's see what else do we have here. We had a
War Raiders versus Judgment Day.
This match cooked.
This match was fire. A lot of big spots, a lot of good spots. Roxanne Perez ended up helping Finn Balor and JD pick up the win. Which
not only that this technically seemingly secured them a shot at the titles.
And New Day were out there, and they got ejected, because they were commentary. I don't know what exactly happened, but all I know is I think that the Judgment Day are a good tag team, and Finn's coming up with something, but I don't think JD's fully on board. It seemed like Roxanne helped, cool, appreciate it, but I don't think JD's fully on Finn's side yet, but I do think when they split, JD goes with Finn instead of going with Dom and Liv and Raquel and all that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Judgment Day is slowly but surely gonna completely split. I don't know. That's a video for another time, but I think the downfall of the Judgment Day is
creeping around the corner.
Did a Becky Lynch promo, right? Talking about what she was gonna do at Money in the Bank directly after. Lyra comes out. They have a heated promo, then they brawl. I'm actually going to give this a screw.
Yeah, this is good.
This will be a screw.
I think.
Did we mention the match before? That was a screw. But
yeah, I think this build up towards Lyra and Becky is better than the Backlash build up for Lyra and Becky. And I guess that'll happen when you have a feud that lasts a little longer, kind of marinates. But I think we could see Becky win at Money in the Bank. I don't know. I think they should put over Lyra, but I don't think that this title reign should last as long as it has, especially considering Chelsea's title reign's already over. A lot of people have changed titles. I think it's kind of close to who. I don't know who takes it off her. I don't want Becky to take it off her, but
if Stephanie doesn't win, Stephanie would be a good option. But I also see them going Stephanie versus Io Worlds Collide for the title. I could see that easily happening.
Worlds Collide?
Not Worlds Collide, excuse me. Evolution 2.
Okay.
I could see that happening in Evolution 2. But as for the whole promo brawl segment, it's a big screw. I think this is, regardless of who wins what, this has elevated Lyra to a position to where the fans are like getting behind her promo. She's getting a chance to really.
And that was not happening at the beginning of her title reign.
Now this title is starting to have some meaning, So I definitely think there's a lot more work that needs to be done with it. It's brand new, but I like it.
Yep.
I definitely like it. We had a backstage segment between. There's a lot happened here between the Creed brothers and the New Day. So I say a lot happened because it's kind of weird that they're talking to them, right?
And Waller's there too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Waller's there. It's a big mix-up,
Yeah.
And they're trying to get in everyone's heads.
Yeah.
But it seems like they're trying to get Waller to really turn heel in theory.
Yeah.
That's the big message.
Which I think we should have been done this. I mean, Waller in theory, decent tag team. They're the inaugural SmackDown tag champs.
I'll give that a screw.
But they're past due on splitting up, and I think it's kind of obvious considering Theory wasn't even here today.
Yeah.
So I think it was definitely a screw. I really did like the Creed brothers kind of.
Yeah.
Speaking for themselves, first of all, Chad Gable, he's great on the mic, but I don't think he should speak for Creed brothers all the time. And they did a good job.
And really, Gable's been neglecting them.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that.
Well, El Grande Americano, we'll get to that a little later.
But we did have a backstage moment between Stephanie and Rhea. I'll give this a screw. But at the same time, I'm very upset because she was rocking an R-Truth shirt.
Yeah.
And It was clearly she was rocking it before the show. You could see the red sports bra on top. That was definitely the photo was taken today at the arena.
Yeah, she had a shirt on, red sports bra underneath.
And
next thing you know, she's on WWE TV without the shirt.
Yeah, which normally, you know me, women without a shirt and a bra, I'd be a happy guy, right? Yeah. But on this case scenario, it seems like she was told by management, hey, you got to take that off.
Yeah.
You know, which,
like,
is Vince back? He's forcing women to take their clothes off on TV? Good grief. You know? Doesn't seem right to me, honestly, though. In all seriousness, what they did to R-Truth is horrible. I'm going to give this segment itself a screw. With that situation's a big
the stare down between Stephanie and Rhea is a screw in itself.
Yeah.
But you kind of have to sit there and be like, oh, man, they really playing R-Truth like that?
Yeah. It's crazy. And what did he do to them? Nothing.
Yeah. You know? I mean, that shirt was on the WWE shop 48 hours ago, 72 hours ago.
Yeah, man. We had a new thing called the McAfee Minute.
Yeah.
Where Pat McAfee gets
it's not necessarily new, but it's it's fresh.
Yeah. I don't know if we've ever seen it before.
I think it's happened before, but like it's been a while.
Yeah. I don't know. I enjoyed it. Give it a screw. It was fun, funny with fans.
Yeah. Anytime Pat talks, you got me cracking up.
This is another screw. Paul Heyman
for us to get on this.
Getting into AJ Styles' head here. I really don't know what the motive was here, because like, what did you just think that you were going to convince AJ Styles to not have the match?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense to me. I feel like, honestly, you know what? I'm taking my screw back. I'm going to give this a poo.
He's taking it back, folks.
I'm going to give this a poo. Because it just doesn't make any sense. That's the thing. I love Paul Heyman. I love AJ Styles, but the act, it doesn't make sense. Why would he do that? Why would he give a fuck about Paul Heyman and what he wants? Yeah. What does he have to offer there? He's like, hey, you should focus on the mid-card title instead of getting a contract for getting any title you want.
Yeah. It was a little...
It just doesn't make no sense.
It was a little all over the place, and even, like, if AJ would have already qualified, this would have made a bit more sense to walk up to him like, hey, you know, Seth's going to win this. You know, you shouldn't even bother. You should focus on the Dom title. Yeah, like that makes sense. But he hadn't even qualified yet.
Yeah.
Like, he still has to go out there and win the match. Like, you just had that whole conversation. He lost.
Yeah, I just feel like this episode was kind of all over the place, really. Like, nothing was making sense. They were just piping things in we didn't need. You know, there wasn't even a whole lot. I feel like there wasn't as much wrestling as, you know, we should have had.
There's a lot of backstage segments, yeah.
There's a lot of backstage segments. Like, here's another segment. Penta had a little video package. I'll give this a clue. We fuck with Penta.
Yeah.
You know, gotta love Penta. But nothing really, just saying he's going to win Money in the Bank, you know.
Yeah.
Then we had...
Sammy and Jay came out in a pretty exclusive entrance to the crowd.
That was very exclusive.
That was exclusive.
And then we had Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker have this weird mashup with their music.
Yeah, we were down with it at first, but then it started with Bronson Reed, then it went straight into Braun Breaker's theme, and then back to Bronson Reed's theme. I'm like, okay, you can't come up with something better than that.
And here, I'm going to say something about this. Like, this has been a problem for a while with creating new factions and stuff, new tag teams. The fact that, and I don't know, maybe Vince was just good at this. I don't know. But since Triple H has came on board and has been creative, making the entrances together with people and giving them names has been something he's really suffered at.
Yeah, I mean, the Pride, that didn't even make it.
Pure Fusion Collective.
The Pride didn't even make it to, like Bobby Lashley was already out the door by the time that name got finalized. Yeah. So we didn't even really see that on TV. Yeah, Pure Fusion Collective. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I like a theme song mashup. I mean, Jericho. That's a fantastic mashup. RKO, rated RKO. Fantastic mashup.
Here's the thing. When your theme songs are already shitty, you know what I mean?
Making shit and shit together is just going to be a giant pile of shit.
Yeah, I mean, you got two Def Rebel-ass songs and you're putting them together. Like, their entrances together aren't that bad. Like
separate.
They're not that bad, right? I actually kind of like Braun Breaker's entrance.
Bronson Reed's is decent too.
I think Bronson Reed's is okay, but I don't know. My problem is like both of their entrances seem really just like they're mid.
They don't mesh.
There's not anything about their entrances that's like I'm not gonna. Here's my thing. If I'm not gonna listen to your entrance in my car, it's mid to me. It's not.
That's a
top.
big thing that I think a lot of people don't realize in WWE is like back in even now people will still listen to old WWE themes just chilling. Like
who's listening to a new one?
Like only one that I really like would think about that I listen in the car is like maybe Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, Cody's is fire. Jey Uso's you could listen to.
You know, Roman Reigns. But I wouldn't listen to Roman Reigns' theme song in the car. But like if it came on, I'd be like,
yeah, if it comes on, it's a big pop. Yeah. You know, but like you look at someone like
Seth Rollins, I'd even listen in the car.
Yeah, no one's like, hey, turn on Braun Breaker's entrance, dude. No one wants to sit there and hum and bark and you know what I mean? Like, and when you're mashing up songs, I feel like they should be good songs. Yeah. Like
it should blend.
Like, and if you're not gonna do that,
make a whole.
Guess what? Give them a name. This faction that we've got here, give them a name.
The Brauns.
Yeah. Oh, well, Seth might change it into Braun, Paul changes it into Braun, but whatever. Give this faction a name, and guess what? Just like Evolution, perfect example. Give them a fire ass theme song to come out to. Like, and it is totally unrelated. But like, the Judgment Day theme song is so bad. Like
I remember they came out.
We
like,
had the perfect song. They had a amazing. Like what is with
Priest?
Shit?
Just because Priest and Rhea left doesn't mean you get to throw like if you're gonna keep Judgment Day,
keep the name,
theme.
Keep the theme. Like it's not the theme song. They keep the theme of the attire, all that crap. Or the name, the music. We're just gonna change it, and make it some dog shit.
Yeah,
like
it didn't really make much sense.
I'm honestly, I'm getting upset talking about this. I'm not gonna.
George is getting upset.
It's just doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. So that entrance thing is gonna get a big poo.
Yeah, big giant sloppy poo.
Yeah. I mean, the match itself was actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
the match was good.
I think Braun and Bronson are a good tag team, and Sammy and Jay have that chemistry where they could just do whatever they want, whenever they want.
Yeah.
But those entrances, I mean, they're getting like I'm worried for this Rumble in Saudi. People won't know they won't know who's coming out. Everything's just generic music number 3, generic music number 5. Something I'd fucking find on WWE 2K.
And honestly, we should probably make a whole other video for this because we're already 17 minutes. We're getting towards the end here, guys.
Yeah.
So bear with us. But the fact that WWE is like cutting costs on everything that's important, and they're bringing in so much money on things that we hate, is what I feel like is going on. You know, like you're cutting the music from people. You're giving people Def Rebel shitty ass cheap music. There's not enough pyro. The stage sets are all the same. They're all bland.
Yeah.
You know. The matches are sponsored, like
you're cutting people that people love.
Yeah, like I just feel like y'all are doing all this to save money, but like where's that money going to?
Yeah,
we're losing out on all this great stuff that we love. I feel like that really builds the show, and I don't like. I heard something. I forget who said it. I think I heard it on CVV, but it said like professional wrestling is what happens in between the moves, right?
Yeah.
Like anybody can go out there to straight wrestle, right? But when you're in like pro wrestling, like and in between the moves, like the entrance counts, the pyro counts, the gear counts,
everything.
The atmosphere, the people in the match, like, and I don't know. I just feel like as of late, things have just been on a
little too corporate.
On like a corporate downfall, and it's not something that's storyline. This is real. This is real deal.
Yeah.
I will give the match a screw though.
Yep.
The match was good. We also had a Judgment Day backstage segment.
Lived not
they got into it. That was screw. I do like where this is going. Let's see.
It's like one of the few storylines on Raw that have been progressing at a decent rate.
Kairi Sane picked up a win over Raquel. That was screw. Liv got busted open. This next thing here, I'll give it a screw, I guess. Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn backstage.
I'm not giving it a screw. I love Karrion Kross, but this man was on the entire Raw show for 1 minute.
You know what? I'm taking my slew, but I have to.
1 minute.
He was on for 1 minute. Did something with Sammy, which we love Karrion. Karrion did a great job.
After Karrion Kross did his thing, they went to commercial break and played a Julia video package that we already saw.
Yeah, so like y'all could have, I don't know, y'all could have just, like, it's up to them when they pipe in commercials.
Yeah.
So y'all could have completely just switched this up and not done this. Like, Karrion Kross should have been a Money in the Bank. He should have wrestled at WrestleMania in his hometown last year. Who wrestled instead? El Grande Americano. And that brings us to I believe, yeah, that brings us to the main event. So right after that, we had the main event. Well, we're gonna pause and come back. We had a little thing with Jay and Gunther backstage, video package, and a thing with Jay and Gunther.
I'll give this a clue because I think Gunther's actually providing some good points here.
I'll give this a clue as
well. You're stretching yourself too thin here, Jay. I mean, you had a tag match tonight. You helped out in the main event. You had a match at Saturday Night Main Event. You have a match at Money in the Bank. Then you have to turn around and fight Gunther for the title, the Raw after. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot, but that's but going back to the cross thing. So we immediately, after the Karrion Kross thing, the main event's on AJ Styles, CM Punk, Grande Americano. This is the whole thing for me is honestly just a big poo. Really?
Yeah, I mean,
wasn't a fan of.
They put on a decent match. I mean, I can't complain about their wrestling, but the way it was booked, I just don't. I think it's a poo. I mean, you had Grande Americano pick up the win. Honestly, we just thought he was in this. This isn't the first time that we just thought somebody was in the match to take the pin and he actually won. We thought Andrade was gonna lose and he won. But for us, it's the fact that, and we know we're gonna hear about it. Oh, El Grande Americano is not Chad Gable, but Chad Gable had 2 qualifying matches. Karrion Kross had 0. Chad Gable had 2. A lot of wrestlers had 0. I don't agree with the situation, let alone him winning as El Grande Americano.
Why would he win?
Like, why would he win as El Grande Americano? I thought this was only to help him with luchadors. Now he's
Sounds like a whole separate wrestling. Just doing wrestling. He's wrestling double.
Now El Grande Americano is getting pushed more than Chad Gable. We were asking for Chad Gable to be pushed, not this guy. So I don't like it at all. And then we ended the show with Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Paul Heyman, all standing above Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, CM Punk.
Which that I'm okay with. Like I get that. I get this story. That's fine.
Ending the show on top.
That's fine,
but even if you had like just Karrion Kross walking out and telling Sami, "I told you so," or something so small as that.
Yeah, like I just like. You could have had anybody win this match and go to Money in the Bank if you're just looking for a body. Yeah. Even if Karrion won and lost, you could have started. You could have done anything to where he lost at Money in the Bank because of this, because of that. Like he could have been featured.
Yeah.
Right. Like once again, if you're gonna give give to someone that's a joke gimmick character, R-Truth, the fans would have got behind R-Truth picking up a win here or something. I think if Chad Gable himself won, that'd be a different story.
Yeah.
But giving them 2 matches and there's talent that still, isn't getting matches for this,
Yeah. Let's just say when El Grande Americano got introduced, I didn't think we'd be sitting here at Money in the Bank watching him get qualified.
Yeah, I know we've only had, 1 PLE since WrestleMania Backlash, and you had Saturday's main event, but, I don't know. I'm not too happy with that. I just feel like there's a lot of things all over the place. People are getting cut. People are getting underutilized, and they're just doing whatever the hell they want.
Yep.
At the end of the show, and this could all change in a week.
They might.
You never know.
Possibly trying to ruin wrestling.
I don't know. This could all change within a week. You never know, but we got to keep hoping, and we're along for the ride.
Yeah, we ain't going anywhere.
So hopefully, Money in the Bank is good, turns things around. I guess we'll see. I guess we will see. Like now, Sammy's not featured at Money in the Bank at all. Like,
I think before anybody qualified, I thought if you would have walked up to me and said, the only person out of Roman, Seth, Punk, Sammy, Cody,
Jay.
Jay was already champ, so I kind of that. But like, if you had told me only one of those guys qualified, I would have said, well, this is a snoozer. I want LA Knight to win at this point.
Yeah, that is officially who I definitely want to win.
Like, LA Knight has to be the guy to win. And if it's not LA Knight, I worry it's going to be Seth Rollins. But
I feel like it's going to be Seth Rollins.
I feel like that storyline could be better than if it was somebody like El Grande or Andrade or Solo or...
How pissed would you be if El Grande Americano
I'd be
wins?
Very, very upset because that could be Chad Gable. It's just that simple. Like, if you really wanted to have him be that guy, have him be that guy. Yeah. Not El Grande Americano. Like, this isn't Chad Gable. Like,
Yeah.
like no matter
Honestly,
no matter how you look at it, like the ultimate way to get over as a wrestler is to just be yourself. That's what they always say. They don't want you to put on a show. Like that's how you connect with fans is just being yourself. Chad Gable in a lucha mask is not being himself.
Yeah, and for me, like, I mean, we're gonna do a whole separate video on predictions. We probably should do that soon. But
now that everyone's qualified.
Yeah, you know, Solo is another option. I wouldn't mind winning this match. I could see, you know, something you could do something fun with that.
I think Fatu might actually cost him, and that's why he won't win.
Maybe. I prefer LA Knight though.
Yeah,
I just think Seth has already had it twice. I know Punk already had it twice too. I kind of wanted someone that's never had it before.
Yeah.
And just like Seth doesn't need it. You know, Punk didn't need it either. Like Seth really doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Like, why can't he just qualify for a title match against Jey Uso or John Cena whenever he wants? He's got the help of all these people. Why does he need a sneaky running contract? Well, this review has been going on far too long.
Yeah.
It really has. But
I guess, I mean, hey, when it's worse, we have more to talk about.
Yeah, we're complaining.
Yeah.
But we'll see you guys Friday.
Give it a rating.
Live. We will. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, obviously, on the YouTube and everything. Follow us everywhere at Exclusive John Wrestling. We're going to be live Friday for SmackDown. We're going to be live Saturday for Worlds Collide and for Money in the Bank. So we have a big week/weekend coming up for you guys.
Yep.
Final rating for this show. It's probably going to be the lowest rating I've given in a while.
We're waiting.
I might have to give it I'm going to give it a 5.
5 out of 10. Wow. I was expecting a little lower with how you were looking.
Maybe I should. Maybe I was honestly thinking 4.
Give it a 4.
I was thinking 4.
Give it a 4.
I just didn't want to say it. I think I got to give it a 4.
I'll give it a 5.
4 out of 10. Just because, I don't know, I had a lot of problems with it, you know?
Yeah, it just felt like it was all over the place. Didn't feel like a go-home show. 4 and 5, I mean, that sounds about right.
Well, we'll see you guys live on Friday. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Once again, I'm Red.
I'm Son of Steve.
As always, keep it exclusive.
That's probably so